back to my channel, and tonight I am going to a place called Goatman Forest. This place, I've never been, new place before. I'm gonna be probably scared in, but you guys voted for this thing, and we're here, we're doing it. We're here for another banger. We did so many things in the past, but I think this one will be the best one of all. I mean, we did so many creatures in the past, still more in the future. So enjoy the banger movie. See ya.
Deep in the forests of Maryland, there is said to exist a creature so terrifying and so violent that its name is still used even today to scare young children and adults alike. While he is commonly laughed at when mentioned, there are those who lock their car doors, particularly when driving down Fletchertown Road at night, a road where the Goatman is said to patrol for his victims. The first mentions of the Goatman may have been whispered between the locals as early as the 1960s, but his first mention in the media came about in the 1970s in the local Prince George County newspaper. The article describes some old folklore that was known in the area by generations past, including the Goatman himself, but also another creature known as the Boa Man that also lurked in the woods. Amongst these two creatures were said to be ghosts and spirits that served to haunt the woods and cause distress upon those foolish enough to be found there at night. 2 weeks later, the same newspaper printed an article about a family with the name Edwards who'd lost their dog named Ginger. The article goes on to explain that after a thorough search by the family, the body of their dog was found lying on the side of Fletchertown Road, its head savagely torn off. It would become one of the first modern incidents that would become associated with the Goatman, particularly when the Edwards' 16-year-old daughter and her friends claimed to have seen a large creature near their home the same night that their dog had gone missing. Pretty soon, there were a string of reports of an obscure-looking animal that walked on two legs, all of which were seen along Fletchertown Road. The Goatman would soon find a much larger audience to scare, however, when the Washington Post posted an article about Ray Hayden, John Hayden, and Willie Geen, the three men responsible for finding Ginger the dog. It would see the Goatman become a more recognized creature amongst the likes of Bigfoot and a Loch Ness Monster. In fact, some have even cited the Goatman as being the Maryland Bigfoot, in the sense that the creature is both staggering to comprehend and yet totally elusive. But what is the Goatman? Or who is the Goatman? Where did it come from? And what does it want? Well, accounts describe the Goatman as being a creature that stands over 6 feet tall, a creature that is literally half man and half goat. He's said to be pilous and sometimes foul-smelling, and in some accounts has a high-pitched squeal. He has curled black horns, unkempt and unruly hair, and large claw-like hands. In other accounts, he is never seen without his trusty axe cradled in his arms. There are many variations of the Goatman of Maryland, which are passed down from generation to generation. More often or not, the Goatman is the Maryland Boogeyman, a mere fictitious creature that children use to tease each other with, or that parents use to scare their children into behaving better. But for others, the Goatman has a more concrete existence, and even has his own origin story. There are those that believe the Goatman was once a lonely old herder who kept himself to himself in the woods. However, one night, a few teenagers stumbled upon his herd and killed them. When the old herder found the bodies of his beloved goats, he went insane with rage. The sight of the goat's blood angered him so much so that it actually affected his physiology, turning him into the Goatman. Others believe that the herder turned to satanic rituals to help him overcome his grief, and that in an ironic twist, the devil turned him into a hybrid goat himself, a creature hell-bent on revenge against teenagers in particular. The telling of the tale fits in with the targets that the Goatman is said to prey on, with the exception of dogs and other household pets. Teenagers across Maryland from the 1970s onwards reported several sightings of the Goatman, some of which were said to have been chased by the creature, which yells and squeals and makes hideous goat noises as he gallops after them. Others believe that the Goatman specifically targets lovers, and that Fletchertown Road serves as the perfect nucleus for this endeavour, given that the road has a reputation as being a lover's lane. Teens and adults both have used the surrounding areas to park their cars, and given the seclusion of the woods, it makes for the perfect space to get to know one another a little better, without the prying eyes of anyone, except the Goatman, that is. In some reports, the Goatman appears to be wielding a large axe, and pounces upon unsuspecting victims who are getting busy in the back seat. Reports claim that the Goatman smashes cars open with an inhuman strength, breaks windows, hacks away at doors, and even slashes tires to prevent his victims' escape. Other accounts claim that the Goatman is far more strategic, and lures his prey out of their cars by making deliberate sounds, encouraging the lovers to exit their vehicles and investigate. In one of the more bizarre tales about the Goatman, he is said to be the result of a terrible experiment gone wrong at the Beltsville Research Agricultural Center. Funnily enough, the theories about this grew to be so popular amongst the locals, and the tale began to obtain so much merit, that the research center actually came out to officially deny the allegations. Needless to say, the tale of the Goatman had become a teen obsession, and would see many teens who were out of their minds go Goatman hunting in the woods. However, it appears that despite these hunting parties, the Goatman remains a dark mystery that sits in the woods of Maryland and Prince George County. Many believe that the popularity of the Goatman was influenced by the car culture of the 60s and 70s, where cars gave young people the freedom to explore and discover the world around them. It was a time before the internet, and I imagine the only way to experience anything was to get out there and actually experience it. After all, you couldn't just type in the Goatman in Google if you wanted to see the creature, and you certainly couldn't have a handsome British man explain it to you over YouTube. Please subscribe. No, you'd actually have to go out there and find the Goatman, and then it might have been too late as he buried his axe into your head. But in all seriousness, I can certainly see where the legends of the Goatman became solidified in the community's everyday life at the time, because it promoted adventure and the exploration of the unknown, both geographically and perhaps supernaturally too. Another idea that is said to have given birth to the Goatman was that students in Prince George County were said to have been learning about Greek mythology, and possibly the half-man, half-goat god Pan. It's entirely possible that the Goatman was created by a group of school kids who drew inspiration from their textbooks, and like the memes of today, it eventually gained traction and became a worldwide phenomenon.
Have issued an unusual advisory after rescue teams reported losing radio contact.
This summer has seen a record number of disappearances near the peak of the mountain, with more experienced hikers reported missing than ever before.
There's a thing up there. Looks like a man, it's got a body like a man. It's got a head like a goat, carrying a big old axe.
The urban story about Goatman is that a science experiment went wrong and broke out of the experiment cage, ran away. Very terrifying creature. It has a human body. It has a Goatman head, always carries an axe on his hand for his victims. He's a very terrifying creature not to mess with. He's also a part of the American lore. He's not a creature to mess with, and he's also a part of the German culture as well. I don't know much research about it, but sometimes I mess around. I might be dealing with a German furry. I don't know what creature I'm dealing with. I'm calling it the Goatman and still will, so I can't wait to see what this next creature will have to do. Now, if this video gets 1,000 likes, then I will release the next series for you guys on the other side of the screen. So I hope you guys enjoy this banger movie. Peace, y'all.